Hello and welcome to the Local Pundit. This is your members-only show. We are deep into the teams. We are getting to the top end, the pointy end of last year's ladder. And today we are up and away with the usual suspects. Let's get this show on the road. Howdy, boys.
How we doing, boys?
As Paddy has a massive yawn.
He's so excited. He can't wait.
I've got a good team today.
You do have a good team today. That yawn was out of excitement for all the transfers that we've done.
Yeah. That yawn was because it's 1 a.m.
Yeah, 1 a.m. for you, Paddy. Yeah. That is what happens. So we are up and away. We're into a very interesting part of the table now. What are we? 8th, 7th, and the first of last year's playoff teams. Or last, depending on how you want to table it. The first that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So, how are we all? What's going on in the world, boys? Paddy, 1 a.m., how's life treating you?
Yeah, okay. It's boiling hot over here, though. And our apartments are meant to keep heat in, so it's like an oven there.
Yep. And Aaron, how's life in the country? You know,
it's hot, but at least I got air conditioning, so it's not too bad. But what sucks is I was telling Patty before we came on the show, like it's hot outside, which is bad enough, but then I work in a welding shop, so it's hotter in there, so it actually feels good to walk outside the welding shop. Like it's not good. It's really hot. And I was telling Patty, it just sucks the life out of you, the heat, man.
I love it. Everybody's outside standing in the shade, and Aaron walks outside and goes, "Oh, this is beautiful."
Yeah, I know. It's about what it is. That's about how it is, man.
Funny. Well, I mean, today we're up and running away. Good to see everybody jumping into the chat here. I know I've got Blackburn. Who have you? Have you got Bristol, Paddy? Is that right?
Yeah.
And Aaron?
I got Milwall.
Of course you do.
Of
course you do. So interesting. Well, I've been there, so I'm going to be interested to hear that one. I know where it is. So, I have been to that ground, one of the few that I have been to. So, I'm looking forward to that. And I got Blackburn Rovers today. So, interesting. One of the few teams that we travel north for.
A little bit of, I probably should have done this before we went live. Do we want to touch on any of the rumors going around Wrexham, or do you want to wait till after we do the teams and then touch on it? After.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, I'm easy. Paddy. I like it. I'm good.
Well, then let's jump straight into it, hey? Aaron.
Oh, that means me. I got to get my phone out. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just making it up as I go.
Phone out, Google. Millwall.
Yeah, exactly. Milwall. Who is Millwall? All right. Let Grok handle it. No, we got Millwall Football Club. They are nicknamed the Lions. If you read my article I wrote the other day, they got a mention in the title. They were founded in 1885. Their ground is called The Den, which is probably the coolest name for a home ground ever.
Yeah.
Capacity 20,146. Chairman is James Burleson. Their head coach is Alex Neil. And I can touch on him real quick because I did pull up a little bit of stuff on Alex Neil, so we can go into him. So he is from Scotland. He got his start his playing career. He played in the youth setup at Dunfermline Athletic in Scotland, and then his senior career started in 99-2000 season. He played for Airdronians. He had 16 appearances and 5 goals for them. Then he got a move to Barnsley from 2000 to 2004. Had 121 appearances and 6 goals for Barnsley in those 4 seasons. And then he moved in the 2004. At the end of 2004, he moved to Mansfield Town and had 41 appearances for them and 1 goal. Then he moved back to Scotland for Hamilton Academical. Had 211 appearances for them, and the last 2 seasons at Hamilton is when he started his managerial career. He was a player manager for them for 2 seasons, and then he got a move down to Norwich, which seems like a big jump to me. I didn't have a chance to really go into that and see what the story was with that. That seems like a big jump from Hamilton Academical to Norwich. But so he's at Norwich from 2015 to 2017, and then went to Preston North End from 2017 to 2021. Then he took over at Sunderland. If anybody's watched the Sunderland Until I Die stuff, you would have known him. And he was their manager when they got promoted from League One, and that was kind of one of the big stories with that, with that documentary. So he got them back up after, I think it was 3 or 4 seasons out of the Championship. He got them out of League One back into the Championship. And then immediately went to Stoke. He got the hell out of there. Went over to Stoke. He was at Stoke till 2023, and then he's left there, and now he's been at Millwall since the 2024 season. So he's a good manager. He's been around, plenty of experience at this level. So, I don't know if he's an outstanding coach. He's definitely a defensive style coach or manager. So some people like that, some people don't, but it seems to work pretty well for him. He's right there at, they were right on the verge of playoffs. I mean, they could have got in on the last day. So
Yeah.
I'm right there. So yeah, I think he's a pretty good manager myself. I like him. So let's go back to Milwall a little more. So like I said, they began in 1885, and then they were founding members of the Southern League in 1894, and they competed in it for 22 seasons until 1920, and they won the title twice, in 1895 and 1896. Then they joined the Football League in 1920-21 season.
So 30-something years in,
Yeah. They've had 11 promotions in the time since they've been in the Football League. They were champions in the leagues that they were in 5 different times: 1928, 1938, 1962, 1988, and 2001. They've spent, let's see, that doesn't make sense. Oh, okay, yeah. 92, and this may be a year off, but 92 of their 99 seasons in the Football League, yo-yoing between the 2nd and 3rd tier. So that's kind of where they've been, 2nd and 3rd tier. So Championship, League One, right in that ballpark. I would venture to say probably more in league or in the Championship.
Yeah, I agree.
At least lately. Maybe that's not always been the case, but it seems that way. So let's see some of their honors. So in their leagues, in the 2nd division, second division, champion. Jeez, my camera screwed up again. I don't understand.
Aaron just got more attractive.
I don't know why it does that. Like, it just stops my camera, and I have no idea why. Let me see. Let's see where can
the Zoolander filter. If you're not good enough to be a model, it cuts you out.
Zoolander filter. Guess I had that one coming. I don't know why it's not. Oh, there it is. The button changed. Why it just did it again? I don't understand. It's like automatically kicking me off. Oh no, my background is screwed up. I love it. We shoot the rehearsal here. Let's see. Can I fix my screen? I know I can.
Well, Aaron's working on the budget that Milwall has for their stadium because it definitely needs a little bit of work, but it's a great place to go watch a real team game. Hey, who's that guy?
Fixed it. Fixed it. This is our new center back we've been looking at. Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot back there. Okay, so back to where I was. Sorry about that. Yeah, so second division champions in 87-88. Third division champions, so basically League One level. 1927 and 28, 1937-38, 2000, 2001. They're promoted from that division in 65-66, 75-76, and 84-85. They won the playoffs in 2010 and 2017. The fourth division, so League Two, they were champions in 61-62, runners-up in 64-65. The Western Football League, they were champions in 1907, 08, and then 1908, 09. And then the Southern Football League, already touched on, 1894, 95, and the 1895, 96 season. In the FA Cup, it came runners-up in 2003, 2004. In the Football League Trophy, they won it in 1982-83 and runners-up in 98-99. Football League War Cup, they were finalists in 1945. I would like to do I'm going to have to do a little dive into that's interesting. Because I know the Football League kind of got weird during World War II because obviously most of the men were off fighting. So I'd be curious about that, actually. But that's cool, I guess. And then the third division South Cup winners in 1937. And then there's tons of little cups. I'm not going to go through them all, but there's because they're in London, so there's all sorts of little London weird cups and stuff. So yeah. So they are in London. So from what I can tell, looks like 3.5, 4 hour drive or so from Wrexham. Looks like it kind of depended on where you went. About 200 miles, a little under, depending on which way you went. I don't know which way is fastest. But yeah. So the main thing with Milwall is they're known for having a very rough crowd. They are a fan base that you don't want to fuck with. Like that's kind of like, I mean that's what I'm getting from people. That's what anybody that mentions Milwall, that comes up every time. Like there's no missing it. You know what I mean? Like it's anybody that speaks about it. I know every time I bring it up or somebody brings up something about Milwall, John's in the chat yapping about how Aaron, why don't you go to Milwall and watch a game? Yeah, try to get beat up.
I did go to a match there, Aaron, and I can attest to it. It was especially the fans at the ends where the real parochial fans are. You can see it. Yeah. It was super aggressive.
Pretty wild. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on. What's that? Bigfoot's face is triggering the sensitive content. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Here, there you go. Oh, there you go. Fix it. I got it covered his face. Yeah. Just put my big ass in the way. Anyway. So they're a rough crowd. Apparently a group of people you don't want to mess around with.
And how do you think they'll go this season? I'll quickly bring up their transfer sort of.
Yes, I did not. Yeah, that was one.
Give me a second to bring that up. But,
yeah, I mean, go ahead and do that. And I've got some other stuff I can hit. That I wanted to hit. So the record against Wrexham. And I guess I'll do it from a Wrexham perspective because it makes more sense. So Wrexham have won 9. Lost 6 and drawn 11. So we've actually got a better, the better of the record against Milwall. I don't know. I didn't do the math, but that's a bunch of games over 20. What's that? 25-ish? Yeah, 25 times, 26 times. I'm not great at math, but yeah. But the last time we played them was. Even though we played him that many times, was all the way back in 2001, which is kind of like the story with all these teams. All these teams, we've played most of these teams, but it's been 20 years or better, for a lot of them. But yeah, we played them in 2001, and that was a draw. and that was in Division 2 or League 2. Sorry, that was just, they got a weird how they said it. That was in League 2 apparently. I think it wasn't Championship. Maybe it was League 1. I don't know. I don't think that's right because we wouldn't have been in. What would we have been in 2001? We'd have been in League 1 probably, right? Seems like.
I'm enjoying
Maybe it was League
watching.
2. I don't know. That is weird.
I'm
trying
enjoying
to figure
watching
out.
your brain tick over, trying to figure it
Well,
all
I'm
out.
trying to. Well, I was reading what it said, and that doesn't make sense.
I think it was League
Maybe-
2.
Maybe League 2. Maybe that makes sense. It's on this thing. It says League Division 2, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Division
So,
2.
anyway, League 2. So we drew 1-1 on that day, and then the game before that was in November of 2000. We won 1-0. So, like I said, we've not it's not a fantastic record against them, but not bad. We got a pretty good record against them. But again, it's been 25 odd years since we played them. Were you able to come up with? Yeah, were you able to come up with the?
So they've done three bits of business in this window. They got Max Crockham from Burton. He's a keeper on a free transfer. And then they've also got Josh Coburn, striker from Middlesbrough. His market value is 1.6 mil, and he signed, so for an undisclosed contract. These are all undisclosed, the length of their contract times. All signed in July. And the last one, they got a left back, Zach Sturge from Chelsea.
Okay.
So, so he was on loan from Chelsea, though, like at the end of last season. So obviously they did get a look at him and have seen him, and then they've obviously liked what they saw and they've done the business, and Chelsea were happy to let him go.
Okay. So here was their top 5 rated players from last season. Joe Bryan was rated at 7.16. Ryan Leonard was rated at 7.11. This is all FOTMOB, by the way, everybody, just so you guys know. George Seville, which I know he's left. He was their 3rd best rated player at 7.03. Romain Esse, 7.01, and Jake Cooper was a 6.99. So that was their top 5 rated players last season. Like I said, I know George Seville left. I don't know if any of the others have or not. Can't remember where Seville went, but he definitely left. But yeah, I mean, it's another team with a rich history. They're a team that I think are going to be. I mean, I think they'll be in a similar position as they were this year. I think they'll be fighting for playoffs. I don't think they've done anything that makes me think, oh, wow, they're going for it this season. But they're certainly a team that'll be up there fighting, and they're a good team, and they've got a good manager, and he's got a lot of experience at this level. So I think they'll be in good shape myself. Esteban's talking crap. Esteban, the smoke you saw coming off of that's called steam. I'm dying. It's hot.
And while we're there on Esteban, congratulations, mate. Just got a job offer, so that's great to hear.
Hey, awesome, Esteban. It's awesome.
Yep. What do you think, Paddy? I think they're sort of going to be fighting for playoffs, going to be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, they'll be one of the teams up there, and which of them is going to hit the playoffs, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think we're pretty confident to say that they're always competitive, but they seem to be a perennial championship team at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but anywho, why don't we move on, and I'll get stuck into my guys, which is Blackburn Rovers, who finished 1 spot out of the playoffs last season in 7th spot, like in that ultra tight race, that was the championship last season. Actually, if I bring up that table again, I just want to check because there was so many teams that could have made it, and it was just like when
I want to say they were in at one point during the day, like while the games were being played. Like I think it was because I think they stayed out on goal difference, right?
Well, they drew their last match, missed out by 2 points.
Was it 2 points? Okay, I was saying goal difference.
2 points. Bristol City drew their last match, so they were on 67 and got in on
So
68.
I think they were winning then, and I would have put them. I think that
And
would put them
the team that did it to them was Coventry.
Yeah.
Who actually won their last match to go from 66 to 69 points.
Mm-hmm.
So if Coventry had have lost, they would have got in because their goal difference would have gone down and Coventry won. Yeah. So that was the team that knocked them out because Coventry had a +6, but with a win, they obviously got at least one positive, and it would have been a definitely two less goal difference points if they'd lost, because it would have been obviously the other way around. Right. So yeah, that's how they missed out on the playoffs. But anyway, let's get stuck straight into them. So obviously, like I just mentioned, finished 7th in the league. They were founded in 1875 and became a founding member of the football in 1888 when it was formed. Their home ground is Elwood Park. They've played there since 1890. So they haven't moved in 135 years. It's got a capacity now of 31,367. So good sized stadium. But if we'd been playing there in any of our Tour Down Under games, we would have ran out of tickets. They've won 6 FA Cups. Now, I mean, I don't think any of the players that won those will be playing this season because they were 1884, 1885, and 1886, 3 on the bounce. Then they won again in 1890 and 1891 for 5. And then they won again in 1928. So, yeah, way back when. It's been nearly 100 years now since they last won the FA Cup. And congratulations to them on all those trophies. They were league champions in 1911/12, 13/14, and again in 94/95. So 30 years ago this year, they were league champions. Now, on the... let's have a look here. Their manager, which is really interesting. So Eustace took over in 23-24, and he took over that year, went into this year just gone, and then they had a stand-in just for, they had Lowe in for 2 matches, David Lowe, and then their latest guy, who, if you're a bit of a Game of Thrones fan, he has a killer name, French manager, Valerian Ismail. So, and he literally came from Watford, and prior to that, he was coaching overseas, but he did have, how many games did he have at Watford? He had, 39 games at Watford from May the 23-24 season. And he coached just at the end of last season 12 matches for the Blackburn. So that was his history, and we'll see how he goes this year because there's got some interesting stuff here. Like basically, Blackburn in their earlier years were definitely a top of the league team. They tend to have mostly been a championship team lately. In 2011-2012 season, they got demoted out of the Premier League back into the Championship. And then they continued that spiral down in the Championship, just sort of continued to drop off. And in 2016-17, they were demoted out of the Championship back to League One. But they did the immediate bounce, came second the following year, 17-18 in League One, came straight back up to the Championship, and have spent the last 7 years here in the Championship. So, floating around mid-table, like 15th, 11th, 15th, 8th and 7th, like 4 and 3 years ago. So just missing out on playoffs. Then 2 years ago, they finished 19th, right down low. And, it was really a bad season for them. A little bit of an anomaly, to be fair, because last year, like we've just mentioned, they finished 1 spot outside the playoffs. So they seem to have sort of cemented themselves in a fairly strong fairly strong mid-table championship team. And to be honest, I can't see that changing too much this season, only because so far they've done 3 bits of business in the off season from Kortrijk, which is a Dutch club, so in the Flemish country. They signed a left mid Dion Deneve, and they signed Ryan Alabiosu, who is both from that team, and he's a right midfielder. So they got him on the cheap though. Looks like he's sort of less than $1 million. And Deneve is just about 1.5 market value. They also signed Sidney Tavares from Monorense. Yeah. So, and actually, I don't actually know. His market value his fee was $2 million. I'm just looking at. Oh, that's a Portuguese team. Okay, yeah, just looking that up now. So they've signed a defensive mid, a left mid, and a right mid. So strengthening up all their midfield. I've missed the chat here as I've been focusing, so I can see we got someone in here into us. So yeah,
I'm messing with Esteban.
The boss is watching. So looking at Blackburn Rovers, I mean, obviously their traditional home kit's blue and white, and I think that for me personally, I see them being exactly the same as Milwall, right around where they are this season. I can't see too much of a change. I don't see them pushing for auto promotion, and I don't see them being in any danger of relegation either. So they're going to be. Yeah.
For me, I worry about their ownership because they aren't. Yes, we are effing with you, Esteban. Their ownership, they have issues getting their money out of India, I believe, and so I think there are possible financial issues that pop up occasionally.
Oh yes, Sahal Pasha, and he has set up a company in London to run the ownership of the club out of London with the financial point of view.
Try it right, yeah. So they should be okay. You would think they would be fine, but I know going into last season, a lot of people had them picked to finish well down the table, near relegation, and a lot of the people that make their picks preseason or whatever, a lot of the pundits and whatnot. And I thought that it was a really good job that Eustace was their manager at the beginning of last season. I thought he did a terrific job keeping them where they were and having them so high in the table. And I thought they were going to fall off as soon as he moved. And it looked like they were going to, but then Ishmael or whatever his name is came in and he really picked up where Eustace left off and kept them. I mean, they dropped down. If you remember, they actually did drop down a little bit. And right at the end of the season, they made a little run and got them real close to the playoffs. But they had dropped down and it kind of looked like they weren't really going to be anywhere. I mean, they weren't in relegation trouble, but they didn't look like they were going to be anywhere near the playoffs. And then they made a little run right at the end. I was like, oh, well, that came out of nowhere,
The last 5 was 4 wins and 1 draw.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's 13 points. It's huge.
Yeah. They made a good run right at the end. So it's I don't know. You would think they'd be able to kick on from that and probably have a good solid season, but you just don't know because you don't know what kind of money they're going to be able to put into the club and whether or not they get the right players in and all that. So it'll be interesting. There'll be an interesting team to watch.
Yeah, but if you have a look at their history, though, they don't have a very good trend. The last 13 years, and they have not managed to get into the playoffs. Now, they dropped down out of the league once and bounced straight back up. but that's 13 seasons and not hitting playoffs at all. That's like a hard ceiling that they just can't seem to get past.
Haven't really only had the one season like that. I mean, I guess where they dropped down back, and that was way back in 16-17. So it's not really relevant to this squad. Then, like you said, Paddy bounce back up. I mean, yeah, it's not great to be down there and not be in playoffs, but it's also not been a threat of going down really either.
Yeah, they're still, even like that's the thing. Even with a bad year, I still wouldn't expect them to go down. A bad year for them is being somewhere mid-table, lower mid-table.
15th to 18th.
15th, 15 to 11th type area.
Yep. Yeah, so I think this is a team that's, well, actually, from a opposition point of view, this is the sort of team that you've got to get points off if you're going to do successful in this league.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be successful in this league. These are the sorts of teams that you have to have a draw and a win.
Yeah, take at least the extra point.
Yep, you get 4 points out of your 2 matches, and then you're like, yep, okay, that's a successful campaign against that opposition for that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a pretty fair assumption. But, I mean, there's not really too much else to say about Blackburn for now. Not done a lot of business, only the 3. Nothing outstanding there. No signature signings. So I would expect more of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we can move straight on to the first of our playoff teams, Paddy.
Yes, nice and interesting now. We actually have a good team that maybe we'll have trouble with. Is that the first time I've said that?
So far, if you've been watching the members chat, we're going to beat every team that we've talked about so far, according to Paddy. And now we're into the tough teams.
Now they're okay. Now they're okay. Okay, Bristol City, also known as the Robins. We used to be called the Robins, but now we're the Dragons. Okay, they like their red and white scarves. Banksy is from Bristol, so if anybody's into their art, or from around that area anyway. They were founded in Bristol City in 1894. They joined a local rival in 1900 and joined the Football League in 1901. Distance from Wrexham, they are about a 2.5-hour drive, 140 miles. So not too close, but probably too close to get a plane down to them. So that'll most likely be a coach trip for the boys. Unfortunately, no jets for this one. As usual, we have not got a great head-to-head with them. We have actually beaten them a couple of times in League Cups and such, but we rarely have played them because obviously the differences in leagues at the different years, we didn't come across each other. Local derbies for them. The main rival would be the Bristol Derby against Bristol Rovers, who we ran into last season. That's called the West County Chaos Derby, but they haven't played each other that much either because Bristol Rovers has been a little bit lower lately. They also have a bit of fun with Cardiff City. That's another one of their rivals. Can get a little bit heated. And there was a historical Cardiff 6-0 thrashing in 2010. But in return, they beat them 2-1 in 2019 and 20. So they have a bit of fun between each other. We don't really have anyone like that at the moment. Biggest achievements and trophies. So they have won a couple of divisions going back into history that nobody cares about because 1905 and 1906, not exactly modern. They've won a couple of trophies, Football League trophies in 85-86. I was at least born, 2002 and 3. And then 2014-15 is recently 10 years ago-ish. And they have the record for the most wins in the Football League trophy at only 3, which I found interesting. But there's a lot of teams going to that trophy. They have also won the Welsh Cup in 1934 for an English club. That's an interesting one for them to win. And apparently they've won the Anglo-Scottish Cup in 77-78. Notable achievements. Now, this is interesting. FA Cup runners-up 2-man United. All the way back in 1909. Wowza. That's one of their notable achievements. They have got League Cup semi-finals in 70s and 89, Championship playoff final in 07, 08, and they lost to Hull City, losing 1-0. And then they didn't make the playoff final last season. They went out in the first round of that to Sheffield United, who went through to the final and lost, staying in the division there. Okay, their stadium is called Ashton Gate Stadium. They're home since 1904. Holds 21,497 fans. Apparently, it has no fancy executive boxes. They like to keep it real, apparently.
We're not going then.
Okay. In the last 5 years, then, let's have a quick look at their history. So in the last 5 seasons, going from 2021 season, they were 19th, 17th, 14th, 11th, and 6th. So they are on an upward trajectory. And unlike a lot of other championship teams, they have not been dumping their managers too quickly. In those 5 seasons, they have had Holden for a season and a half. They had Pearson, who was almost 2.5 seasons. 3 seasons, and then Manning was there for a season and a half, but they have now changed Manning this summer because he left them, and now they have Gerhard Struber, who is from Austria, and who did he come in from? He came in from FC Köln, so that'll be an interesting one to see. Can they keep their upward trajectory? Can he get them into the playoffs? Because if he doesn't, then they're kind of slipping a little bit.
They've been trending up, haven't they, the last few years?
The last 5 years, every season they've been going up. So their next challenge is to hit that playoffs. I wouldn't think it's too bad a result if they are 7th to 10th first season with a new manager, if they're playing well. But they would be hoping at this stage maybe to push on for a bit of playoffs. Next season. Okay.
Yep.
So Gerhard Struber, he was appointed this summer, as mentioned, Austrian. He also had the New York Red Bulls and FC Köln. Anybody know anything about the Red Bulls? Never paid any attention to them.
Never watched. I don't watch them unless.
I assume they're not allowed to use their wings during the matches. But
Paddy.
I know, silly joke. Silly joke.
He's here all week. Try the veal.
This guy.
Okay, coaching style for Gerhard Struber. Struber deploys a high-energy 4-3-3, emphasizing passing and fast transitions, perfect for forwards like Meulu and Armstrong. It's bolder than Swansea's Alan Sheehan. So that will be an interesting one if he goes more attacking focused. Will that get them the extra points, or can it lead to them slipping up in a few matches and getting picked apart on occasion? So that will be an interesting one. The chairman, John Lansdowne, says Struber's style will give a new lease of life to the attack. Okay, yes, it will, but will it also screw up the defense, which is the problem? And now, doesn't this sound like an owner/chairman who is just begging for some nice, fancy, flowing football?
It does.
That doesn't always work. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll reserve judgment, but I don't like teams that want flashy football for the sake of flashy football. So let's hope he knows what he's doing, or actually not. Let's hope he crashes and burns. Doesn't get into the playoffs, because we have to get in there this season, or maybe we'll see. And that is about it. A little bit on the ownership. Stephen Lansdowne via Pool Sport owned the majority, having bought into the club in 1996. His son John Lansdowne is chairman. No recent takeovers as such. They are stable. but have a generally frugal approach. They don't tend to spend so much. The focus is on youth development and sustainability, not blockbuster signings. So that is a good note to have a quick check on their transfers. And their transfers, so far they have done 3. One is a free transfer, that is Emil Reese Jakobsen, that some people may know. He came in from Preston. Then we have Adam Randell and Yu Hirakawa. No transfer fees mentioned on them are available at this time, but their market values are 2.4 million and like 1 million. So not crazy market values if they had to pay fees for them. So it will be interesting to see the rest of the season. Decent squad. If they work together, they can do well, but new style for them this season. So unknown for them.
Can go either way, can't it?
Yeah.
Or can go both ways. Can take a while to settle in, and it
can go both ways.
Yeah, which is normally the way. I mean, poor old Ange Postecoglou. He's at Tots. His style was not appreciated because they nearly got relegated. So and then he goes and wins the Europa League, and it's like, see you later. So you're right. So what do you think, Paddy? What's your sort of rough thoughts on where you think they'll end up this season then with a change in managers?
I don't think they're going to make playoffs. I think they'll slide a little bit. So I'm going to put them maybe 10th-ish. 8th, 10th maybe.
Yes. Aaron?
I predict a slide, so I'm going to say 13th.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I can't disagree with you two guys. I think they're going to be down around there somewhere. And, to pick the exact numbers right hard, but there you go. I'll go somewhere in the middle. They're going to finish 11th or
12th.
Now, it doesn't seem like this ownership group will pull the trigger too early. We've spoken about this a lot. Lots of managers getting replaced, multiple managers in a season. Doesn't look like Bristol City have been doing that, but in fairness, they have had good results. So they're on this nice upward trajectory. If they get bad results early, will they drop the hammer soon? It's not generally their style, but who knows? Maybe it's not their style because they've been doing well.
Yeah. So for his sake, I hope that he gets, plenty of time to prove his systems.
Real quick, Esteban, yes, there is a Red Bull team in the Bundesliga. It's RB Leipzig. And also, Wrexham just posted this on Twitter. Wrexham AFC are saddened to learn of the passing of former player Wyn Davies, or Davis, at the age of 83. Our thoughts are with Wyn's player or family and friends at this time. So a short little thing, but obviously condolences to his family and friends, and hope that all of them are okay.
Yeah, Valwyn. Sad news. Unfortunate to hear. But anyway, it's very, very tough when you hear news like that. But it is, unfortunately part of life.
Yeah.
And okay, so
sorry, mood killer there.
Yeah, we've just covered off on Bristol City. We covered off on the 3 teams now for this week. Do we want to cover off on any breaking current news for the members only show?
Well, there's tons of all of a sudden Wrexham transfer stuff just blew up today. So it seems like it's been pretty quiet. It seems like the last couple of weeks.
Well, this is the show where we can be salacious because it's members only. We can say whatever we like.
We can get out there. So I guess what was the there's all sorts of stuff on here. Because people are posting there as we're doing the show too. So there's been stuff added. The first one, I guess, the big one was, what's his name?
We want to get into Sheffield Wednesday and Windass and that getting his.
Those two. So Windass and Smith have both been released by the club.
That's
by
Michael
Wednesday.
Smith.
Michael
Yep.
Smith. Those are the two. Those are players that we've at least been rumored to be looking at. Whether we actually are, we don't know. And I think obviously we definitely tried to get Smith last season. We know
Yeah.
that for sure. Now whether we would still want to go back in for him or not, I don't know. Probably an upgrade on Ollie Palmer, but you know,
I
yeah, I don't.
I would have said no, because we are now up in the championship and we were looking for him in League One. However, things have changed a little bit. We would have been paying a transfer fee to get him last season. So if he's not looking for crazy wages and it was reasonable, I think he would be a decent player to have in the squad, because he would potentially give us the more solid option of going back to the 3-5-2 system in a direct way like we used to, whereas he's experimenting at the moment with the 1-1 and how we're doing with that. There is a possibility that isn't working, at least isn't working for some clubs, and I think it would be worth the backup to have him, even if he wasn't going to always be in the first 11 on a free.
Yep. I'm seeing, I've got a sense that we're getting a team that is actually going to be able to rotate quite well now in terms of a squad. So, yeah, I mean, a guy like that would be handy, in my opinion. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only have 25 registered, can't you, including keepers?
Right.
So, so you're going to have 3 keepers registered to be safe?
You will. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we will.
So,
So that leaves 22 spots, which is, and how do you have the balance of those 22? And then you've got to be rotating some of those players. Like I guarantee you can't have, you take out the keeper, 10 players playing every game. There's going to be A, injuries, B, tired.
well, and in the championship, the with the schedule being so condensed, because you got the international breaks, that's where you got a lot of 3-game weeks, so you're going to have to rotate. You're not going to be able to play the same starting 11 all the time.
No, agreed.
So yeah, so those two popped up today. That news broke. Initially, it broke that Windass had won his appeal, which apparently Wednesday had tried to stop him from being able to get out of his contract. But then Wednesday posted, that was a strange one. And then all of a sudden Wednesday post that they've mutually agreed to terminate the contract. So it's like,
go back one step, because before that, it was reported that Sheffield Wednesday were not appealing the 6 players.
Yeah. So there's a lot.
It's all over the place, that one.
But so I did see somebody say if the six leave that are supposed to, I think they're down to 12 senior players.
Yeah,
right now,
isn't it?
It's not good for them.
But as a Wrexham fan, I really don't have any sympathy.
Yeah.
But there has been a lot of people saying solidly that the deal for Windass is done. That obviously we unofficially we've spoken to him, agreed everything in principle, and that's why essentially he's happy to go. Now, of course, things can change, because the article that came out today was, now that he is free, teams are on notice. Now, teams that want him are already on notice, and he should already have discussed it with all of them. Yeah. So it should be done in theory, but in practice, if another team jumps in right at the last second and says, here's some more money, who knows?
Well, for me, Paddy, it's done with whichever team he's going with.
Yeah, and that's my thoughts.
Yeah. So fingers crossed that is correct. It would be great to get a couple of signings in the next 2 days. There you go. Matt L saying that, Windass is a done deal, and Lewis O'Brien isn't off the table.
Yeah. So the rumors on O'Brien is he seems to be trying to hold out for Hull. At least that was the last. I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, they're not. They do have an appeal process, like they can appeal. They're not going to get that overturned. It's just not going to happen.
Now,
The
the only thing he could be considering there as well is that if I have to wait for Hull for a year, I'll just stay where I am and let his contract finish.
Well, but where is he? Is he
Crystal?
is he out of contract though, or is he still?
No,
I can't remember
contract
now.
next year, I think.
It's okay. So he's still under contract.
Yeah. So Paddy, take your Wrexham hat off.
Mm-hmm. In
And
my mind,
and try and be and try and not be sort of have that Wrexham bias. Which club would you rather go to?
Of course, us. Like Hull is an absolute mess.
I
So there must be personal reasons of some sort as to why either he is linked to the club in some way, with history or managers or some relationship, or maybe there's some family connection.
Yeah,
You
or
know?
doesn't like the YouTube channels that are in favour of Wrexham. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
It makes no. I mean, to me, you're just asking to get relegated. If you go to Hull, you're asking to get relegated. Like it makes. If you go to Hull and take a now, Matt Al brings up a good point. He was considering a loan. So if he went on loan to Hull, that gives him an out at least. It gets him to his free agent. Then he's a free agent, and he can try to negotiate a better deal for himself at that point. But then there's still the good chance that Hull go down, and now you've got a relegation on your CV also. Do you want that? Does that help you? What kind of deal are you going to get after getting relegated? Because I don't think there's many people that would argue right now. I think the favorites for relegation are probably Wednesday and Hull.
And one other. It's almost like there's two, and who's going to be the third?
Yeah, I mean, I think early on, a lot of people were assuming it was going to be Charlton, but they've done some pretty decent business, so they've got a chance. I wouldn't be surprised they stay up.
And Nathan Jones knows how to get it done.
Yeah.
So I'll give him
Absolutely.
credit. I mean, I know that John Merrill is his favourite fan, number one fan, but you can't deny he did what had to be done to get promotion.
Yeah, for sure.
So can you do what has to be done to avoid relegation?
Don't know.
The odds are more likely that you avoid relegation than you get promoted.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the biggest one today was, now I'm going to try this name because I saw it, how everybody said it in the chat, but then I listened to a video. And that's not how they said it. So the way they said it in the video, now somebody said there's a video of him saying it, and I didn't listen to that. So I don't know what he says. So that's probably the one you go off of. But Liberato Casachi is what I heard. It's Casachi is the way, or she. That's how I heard it on one of the highlight videos I watched today.
Yes, this was the one Josh and I chatted about yesterday.
Yeah. So, and apparently that deal's happening. That's, I mean,
yeah, that seems the most solid. Yeah.
And it makes sense from a marketing point of view to announce that today or tomorrow.
Well, and I think it's, I mean, you're on that. It's morning there, right? So it could happen here anytime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
During the day.
It's 9 a.m. here.
So they're what, 11, an hour or two ahead of you?
11 a.m. or midday in New Zealand. He's from New Zealand.
Okay, right. I think he's actually from, Wellington was like his home club. Yeah, he's from there.
He is 30 hours from kickoff.
Yeah.
So, with 30 hours from kickoff, it would make sense to have that announced. So today, even at some stage, so that it can be some great news at the game to give people something else to talk about in their hometown.
So Nick posted. So Nick says the video of him saying it was Kakachi. Okay. Which
Kakachi,
is,
yeah.
and that's him. And that's how everybody was saying it originally, but I was like, I just listened to I think it was one of the videos where he was playing I think he scored a goal at the Olympics, and they were calling because they're spelling the middle or they're sounding out the middle one with this instead of the hard C. So,
but he does have an easy nickname, although I can't remember it. Lally?
Somebody said Matt Al said his teammates call him Libby, so that works.
Libby.
I'm good. Libby's easy. But
yeah.
I made the joke. Somebody was talking about his name, and I said, as long as he doesn't play like Kaka, we'll be okay. Yeah, Kakachi. So yeah, but yeah, let's go with Libby. That seems to work good. But yeah, this dude, I'll tell you what, I don't think we've got a player like that. I think he's instantly the best player on the team.
Big call.
He looks good.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, you remember the feeling you got when you watched who was the Japanese kid that signed for
Kanya Fujimoto.
Yeah, I get the same vibes from him as I got from Fujimoto.
Maybe
not quite as rapid, but that same very good on the ball. A bit
stronger presence too.
Yeah, probably stronger and very good on the ball. And I know in the chat and in the Discord, people have been talking about whether he'll play in the attacking midfield or if he plays on a wing. I think this screams a Parky wingback because he likes an attacking wingback. Yeah. Look at Longman. We all kind of had that same talk with Longman as, he can play, he can play in the mid, he can play that attacking mid. And no, he wants a creative player playing that wingback spot because he likes to play the wingbacks high. And this guy's creative. He's really creative. He's good. Yeah.
All these highlights, there must have been about 10 nutmegs.
Oh, at least, if not more. There was so many. So many.
It's like he was looking for the nutmeg.
And here's the thing. It's not like, here's the thing too. Those highlights, that wasn't from like the third division in New Zealand. That was Serie A. Yeah. That's the top division in Italy. I mean, he's playing against legit footballers. I mean, it was
100%.
I mean, good Lord. It was awesome.
And if you look at his stats, it is like it's also defensive.
Yeah,
all the positions he's played and all these, which just screams Parky.
Yeah, I know. I saw one of
even in attacking positions, they have to have played defensive positions. It almost seems.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I saw one of his highlight packages had like kind of a section of him just doing defensive stuff. I mean, he looks great defensively too. Now, of course, they're only going to show you the best stuff. You know what I mean? So so you got to take it for what it is. But boy, he looked good. He looks good. I'm super excited about him. For me right now, let's get him over the line because we've all been calling for. We know we need to up as much as we all love Macca. We know we need to upgrade Macca. He's not going to be able to cut it for a full season in the championship.
Well, wouldn't it be great if Macca was like the guy that played 2 out of 5 games? You know what I mean? Like in the mix. Like you had your main guy and then Macca come in, and if we wanted a slightly more defensive orientated match, he comes in and plays that.
Here's the thing. I think Macca is a super sub. If Macca comes in and only needs to play 15 minutes, you can get a really good Macca. I mean, for 15 minutes, he can absolutely play at that level.
I feel sorry for the opposition that he's marking if he's coming in for that amount of time. It's going to be brutal.
I'm telling you, it'll be exciting. Yes, I am excited, Paul Kelly. Your
voice does go up and up.
I'm excited. I'll be honest. I'm absolutely excited about that, dude.
It's going to be Aaron's guy.
I love it.
Yeah.
So that one's the most exciting for me. And then today, so another one, all of a sudden, kind of out of nowhere, just a couple hours ago or so, we got linked with
Thomason.
What's his name from Bolton?
Thomason.
Thomason. Yeah.
Bolton captain.
George Thomason. George Thomason. He's 24. He's a captain at Bolton, which I thought initially I was like, do we want to go? Do we want to be reaching back into League One, or would we rather have somebody with experience,
But
in
he's
the
young.
championship? But
Young,
he's only
quick.
24.
Yeah.
And if you look at, and we kind of talked right before the podcast started today. Let me pull up his stats. He's had 2 really solid seasons, the last 2 seasons. So the last 2 seasons at Bolton, he played in, this past season he played 46 games, had 5 goals and 3 assists, but he averaged a 7.1 on FOTMOB, which, I mean, that's not easy to average, 7.1. That's a good season. Now the season before, he played 52 games, had 6 goals and 10 assists, which is even better. Also averaged a 7.1. So I mean, that's 2 seasons in a row. I mean, these are good numbers. Yeah, exactly. 10 assists, that's exciting. You know what I mean? That's we need that kind of creation, creative player in the midfield. I know he didn't do it last season as much, but they struggled. Plus, they got a new manager in. A lot of people were saying, I think the Bolton fans were saying they don't think he fits the new manager's system. So maybe that's why the assist kind of fell off this season. But the performances were still, he's still performing at a consistent 7.1 level. I mean, that's really good. If you can get a player to 7.1 every week, I mean, that's great. Now, granted, it was in League One, not in the Championship. But I don't like what Matt Al just said. There were rumors today that Rathbone could be out 3 to 4 months. That is not good. I don't like that at all.
Well, and if that's
hope
true,
that's not true.
Well,
hope
if
that's not true.
He doesn't get placed in the squad up till the January transfer. He just literally is. He's not on the squad list, but he's retained by the club, obviously.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully that's just rumors and nothing more.
But the midfield is somewhere we need to have more depth. We do
at least 2, players, probably 3 players.
Yeah, especially with Rathbone out, you probably want 3. It's the midfield. I mean, I already feel like we're a little light there anyway. I mean, just given, and I think you guys talked about. I didn't get to watch the whole show yesterday, Ken, but I think you guys mentioned about Revan coming in and playing in the midfield. I don't think that we're going to play him there. I think that was all about just getting him minutes. That was all about minutes. Getting more. That I think that, like I said, that was all about, you just want minutes in the legs, so you just getting them out there. You're not as worried about who's playing, where they're playing. And he was fine. I mean, it wasn't like he was great, but he was fine, passable. But I mean, when he plays, he's going to be playing at wing back. But
and if he's playing, to be fair, from what I've seen, in my opinion.
Yeah, but just the fact that he was in there means that we didn't have another midfielder that needed the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes sense. So that already tells you there that we're probably a little short.
The timing of that, because the guys that played midfield, or obviously Rathbone before injury, Matty James, George Evans, Elliot Lee, Dovo, all the regular suspects. And then on top of that, in the first game, all the young guys played half, and I think that, look, I was impressed with Evans' movement and he looked totally fit. Esteban, no, that wasn't actually. That was my mum today. She's here today, and she just made me a cup of tea. Good on you, mum. So, yeah. But, no, I think it's, we need players. We need 2-3 players in the midfield minimum.
Yeah.
They played Ashfield up at striker, and I'm an Ashfield fan, but I wanted to see a little bit better than what I saw for him to be an immediate starter. He may get some minutes, but it didn't blow me away. He was good, but he didn't blow me away.
I still think a loan move makes the most sense for him this season.
We got to sign players for that to happen, in my opinion.
I know. I agree. It's definitely we definitely need some midfielders in, and they'll get them in.
Yeah, they're coming.
So we'll see.
I've just got a sense that they'll announce Kakache prior to the match.
Mm-hmm. You would think so. I mean, it would make a lot of sense if they did.
And then I wouldn't be surprised if over the weekend UK time, we get announcements on hopefully like Windass and maybe a couple of others would be great. I mean, they're going to have to come in the next couple of weeks to be prior to the season. So I guess it's just my wishful thinking that I want them early enough. Interesting that we're talking about Thomason. I forgot to mention with Blackburn Rovers, like that's one of the few teams we travel north for. And if we do sign him, it'll be a drive. It's an hour and a half drive. I want to hide him in the bus because the bus might get egged as we drive through Bolton on the way to Blackburn.
So I know we don't.
Just before we move on, apparently with Thomason, he has turned down a move to Bristol City.
Really? That's interesting.
Well, that indicates that he has
a team in mind.
Agreed to somewhere.
Yeah.
Plus, he's definitely moving. He definitely plans on moving. But
and he should be to the championship if he's turned down a championship.
If he's turning down Bristol, then he's got more than, he's definitely got more than just them looking. Then so this was posted at Carol from HR or Carol in HR posted this in our Discord. So the latest from Red Flare, which those of you who don't get on Red Passion,
that's it's stuff we've all been talking about.
Yeah,
there's nothing interesting there.
A little bit. Hold on, there's more. There is.
Calm
down. Chill out.
Just roll up, Paddy. Aaron's got something to say here.
I was going to summaries, and I'm like, what? We're not finished players yet. Like, what are we doing?
No, we're good. So he's saying Windass is done. Michael Smith's been approached. O'Brien is ongoing. Alfie Jones, which we haven't got to yet.
Yeah.
The fee agreed with the club. And Thomason is a fee agreed with the club. So obviously the next one we want to go to is Alfie Jones. He is at Hull. He is a center back.
Center back that we need. We need a center back.
We need a center back. Is he the one we need though?
We might need two actually.
I think we just need the one center back. I think I'm happy
with
at least
one, but I'm not sold on this one. I think we can do better.
Okay. Paddy?
I think we could possibly do better. And I think this may be a sign that we are still looking. And that he's not happy with either Scar or O'Connell.
Yeah. I mean, we all kind of knew.
Which is a big call. Big call if he does it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
My feelings at the end of last season, and Aaron knows this, that I thought Scar was good enough for the championship. I didn't think O'Connell was, in my opinion. I thought he was just going to lack a little bit. But again, like they both have played plenty of minutes down here. They've both looked okay, but the opposition has not been championship level. Sydney FC were better than Melbourne Victory, but both still not championship level squads.
No. I don't think either one of them are good enough for the championship.
I'm thinking as backup too, not as their first choice.
Yeah, I don't think either. I wouldn't want either one of them as their first choice. I
Paddy's
think
got a strained look on his face. What do you think?
No, sorry, I misheard you. I actually thought you were saying you don't want the new guy as first.
Oh, I just think we can do better because, to be honest, he doesn't. He's only 6 foot tall. His stats aren't like blow you away. Great.
Yeah.
Is it enough of an improvement to be worth doing?
Well, the one thing for me that, again, screams out, get someone in who is a Parky player. Mm-hmm. Parky goes after all the relegated teams, near relegation teams, and goes after people that will work their ass off. Because if you're in a near relegation team, You have been scrapping all season to keep every single goal out of that net.
And you're possibly available because those teams are looking to change their setup. Would be another point to that, Paddy. It's a good point. You're making a great point.
Well, Hull are now kind of potentially screwed with all their financials and other stuff coming down the road. So I don't know that they can replace him, but you know yourself, sometimes if a player wants to go and you force him to stay, it's not good either. But he is their main centre back. So the question is, how screwed is he for cash? Because last I heard about Hull was that the figures said that they were 22 million in outstanding debt to other clubs for players. Now, it may not all be due this season. It could be still multiple seasons. But they have sent letters to these clubs asking them for late payment. So they need to pay them somehow. And that potentially means they're going to have to get rid of some players and play their second string and hope to survive the season. So it makes some sense that if we come in and are willing to pay $1 million, $1.5 million, whatever it costs, 2 million, to take their first centre back, then so be it. It's a Parky type thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not.
I still hope he's not the only one.
Yeah, it doesn't blow. Let's put it this way: it doesn't blow me away.
No, well, why don't you jump onto one that would blow us away? Why don't we jump onto Paul Kelly and Matt L's conversation there about Owen Beck?
Owen Beck. Yeah. I mean,
from Liverpool.
That's a weird one. I've heard everything.
Yeah, I've heard it's a done deal. I've heard it's a done deal, and I've also heard it's not happening.
So I've heard it's done deal. I've heard it's not happening. I've heard it's a loan. I've heard it, like he still needs to sign an extension before he can go on loan. That's
a loan makes sense
everywhere. A loan does make sense
from a Liverpool point of view.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if we sign Kakache, does a loan make sense?
Yes,
because they're going to want him playing.
Yes,
they're going to want him playing.
I'll put that on the wing.
He'll play left back.
But that's where Kakache's going to play.
I think Kakache might come into the left wing back like that.
That's yeah. They're going to be playing the same position.
No, like Kakache on the left in the center.
As a 8 or number 8.
Here, so here's a graphic. All right. Someone posted this in the Discord of our potential new players. So we have Kakache out in the wing for left centre back. But you could push him into where Thomason is.
That's right. That's what I was thinking.
To make the space. And put Beck out on the wing. If you're taking Beck on loan, he has to play that position, I think. That's his most natural for us. And he has to play because he's on loan. Now, the only thing is, if he fucks up and isn't good enough, then you can bench him, whether he's on loan or not. And you can replace him if that's the scenario. But I think Kakache can play multiple positions.
Me too.
I don't think he has to play that left wing back position.
Yeah.
So I think we could squeeze him in elsewhere.
I think we're trying to fit square pegs in round holes.
I don't think so with Kakache. Like he played.
I think you've got a world class, or maybe not world class, but a very high level left wing back.
Yeah, love him.
We're gonna put a lone player in instead of him, and then fit him somewhere else. I don't think so.
But the idea of Beck, like people are so high on Beck.
But if it's a loan, you don't even know that you're going to get him. It's a loan.
Well, we're saying if we
loan, you can have him for the year, but you may not get him the next year. That may be 1 year. That's it.
Yeah, but then
I'm aware of that, but they're also willing to sell it, in theory. So then we just get ripped off once we know we need him. Then we pay for him. I don't mind that.
But Aaron, even if we don't get to keep him and we've got him for the year, what does that really matter? It just means that we've played those guys and we've had a great and if we don't get to buy him, it means he's been successful because he's actually done well, which has been great for our club.
I don't I don't think it makes sense.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense to me. We'll see.
We'll
see where they end
I
up
love it
playing.
when we disagree on stuff. It's really good. I enjoy this.
I think it makes. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense at all. Because
Yeah.
here's the other thing. That's another player you got to register too. And how many wingbacks are we carrying? That's like 5 on the left side.
We'll see.
No, 2.
I think
Mendy, Revan.
But they're not gonna play.
At least
I understand that, but you
yeah.
either got to sell them or you got to do something with them.
In my opinion, if we get these guys, minimum one of those guys of Rev and Mendy won't get registered in the squad. Minimum.
They need to go somewhere.
Well, they don't need to, but it would be better if they did.
Yeah, you don't want to be carrying. You don't want to be carrying players. I mean, I know we've shown that we will.
You can send those guys out on loan.
Mendy's wages are peanuts.
And Rev.
Compared to the rest of the squad.
Rev's aren't even that high, to be fair. Not now.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I don't know.
Aaron's on more money than Mendy.
I don't know about that.
It's close.
No, maybe.
He's welding away in the sweatshop. He's coming outside into the 100 degree Fahrenheit sun to cool down.
Yeah. It's hot.
Okay. Well, is there anyone else we want to talk about? We've been going for an hour and 15, boys. We're having a good run here.
Oh no, was there anybody else, Patty? I think we covered.
I think that was
the end of it.
Yeah.
I'm still holding out hope that we go for the kid down at Luton at center back.
Mm-hmm.
The hell was his name? I can't even remember his name. I'll come up with it real quick.
Who are you talking about? The centre back we're looking at?
Yeah. Mark McGuinness.
McGuinness. Yep.
24, 6'5", speed. Yeah. I want him. No chance he's playing in League One next season.
I'm gonna give Matt L another one here. Matt L, Mendy is an international player, but it's not for a top class international team. And we're now in the championship. A lot of your players are going to be at international level. Unless they're English and they're
right. Yeah.
Friends. If they're
English or French or if
they're Australia, New Zealand, Africa, some parts of Asia, they're going to be international players.
Even Americans, really. Well, most of the Americans that are in the championship are national.
Most of the American internationals are in the National League, aren't they?
Well, they should be. But that's a different story.
Yep. Edumacation. I love that one, Esteban. That's one of my favorite words. I love it. So, yeah. Well, it's been interesting. It's going to be, we're having so much to talk about right now because of the transfer window and everything going on. It's going to be interesting to see our team play their third game in Wellington because I think they copped a little bit of a kick in the backside in Sydney, and I think they're going to want to come out and prove a point.
Now, what time will that be? I guess I could look it up. What time is that?
It is 30, just under 30 hours from now.
So 30 hours from now. So that puts me at.
So a day plus 6.
So, that's going to be early in the morning, I think, for me.
What time is it for you now, Aaron?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. It's going to be 1 a.m. Is it 7:19?
Yeah.
7:19. So it's going to be 1 a.m. for you.
Yeah.
Yep. Patty, what about you? What's it going to make 30 plus from now?
30 plus is 32, 3, 4, 8. Yeah, 8:20-ish, 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that.
The morning. Yeah, perfect. And it's a 3 p.m. game for me. I got to enjoy it while it lasts because it's not going to last too much.
Well, the good news is I've got a demolition derby on Saturday, so I'll probably be up all night tomorrow night anyway, working on my car. So then I can just get the game going while I'm working on my car.
Is it just you, or is
Yeah, just me this time. I'm taking my own. Dad's going to give it a try. Kid's been running his mouth too much.
Is he coming to watch?
He's pretty happy about that second place. Now I got to show him how it's done. I can go win one.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to put him in his place.
Do you know, is it the regular suspects that you go up against?
Yeah, as far as I'm hoping there's a good turnout. It's our local county fairs putting the derby on. They haven't done it for like 8 years. So I'm curious to see how many people actually show up.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they got a good car count, and it's a pretty good show. But we'll see.
How many starters normally?
Depends. Here lately, the car counts are kind of down. So we're generally 10 to 12 cars. You get some of the bigger ones, you'll get up to 20 or so. But usually 10 to 12 cars, somewhere in that ballpark.
There we go. And Matt L asked, Libby is the Italian player. Yeah, he is. He is playing in the Serie A. He's Italian, but he's New Zealand national. So Matt L, you're right on all counts there.
Yep.
Okay, boys. Well, why don't we? Thanks everybody for coming in. Let's just cover off here. I'll just quickly give me 1 second. EFL Championship. Next week, let's give you the next week's teams. Oh, here we go. We're getting high now. Coventry, Sheffield United, and it will be. So we've got 1, 2. We've only got 4 teams left. Yeah. We might do it over 2 weeks. We might do 2 teams next week and 2 teams the following week. Is that right? 1, 2, 3.
No, we've got 5. We've got 5 left.
So yeah,
so 6 if you count Wrexham.
But yeah, we've Coventry, Sheffield, and then the 3 teams coming down.
So we'll do Coventry, Sheffield, and the bottom of the Prem team. So we're covering off the 2 teams in the playoffs that didn't go up, and covering off the bottom.
So according to the list that I've got the list up that we had. Ken's got Coventry, Patty's got Sheffield United, and I've got Southampton.
Yeah, and then we'll do Ipswich.
And then the following week, it's showing Patty's got Ipswich and I've got Leicester, and then it has you for Wrexham.
But we'll see.
But you don't really need to do Wrexham necessarily. Yeah. I think we all know Wrexham.
Yeah. Hopefully by then what we're doing is doing those 2 teams and then talking about all these great signings that Wrexham have signed.
Yes, absolutely. Real quick before we hop off here, I'll touch on it. I know it's kind of a bummer to talk about, but Wrexham did say Wrexham AFC are saddened to learn of the passing of former player Wyn Davies at the age of 83. Our thoughts are with Wyn's family and friends at this time. So I just, in case there are people that weren't in here earlier. Obviously, Wyn would have played long before any of us were fans, but hope his family are doing okay, and always sad to hear, but hopefully they're doing okay.
Yeah, sad news, and it is unfortunate news, and our hearts go out to family and friends of Wyn Davies. Matt L's asked what time does the New Zealand game kick off locally? I think that's 5 p.m. local time in Wellington. It's either 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. I'm not exactly sure whether it's 2 or 3 hours difference from where I am here. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, I guess, boys, well done today. I enjoyed that. I really, great coverage of those teams. And it was good to see Aaron covering off Milwall and Paddy doing Bristol City. So that was fantastic. So I guess we've got game really tomorrow for everybody. I guess it'll be tomorrow. And then from there we are into, the boys will be flying home, and hopefully by then we've got more signings to talk about.
Yeah. Have plenty to talk about for Sunday evening's show. I know me and Patty both been posting some things in the chat about what we can chat about. Lots of stuff in the championship. So make sure you come and watch that. And then I'm sure Josh, obviously he's doing a watch along, but then I'm sure he'll do some other stuff Saturday. Any of that. And, so not sure if was he wanting to do a wrap up of any kind? of the tour, maybe, or something. Hadn't talked to him about it, but
That would make sense.
yeah, maybe like Saturday or something. Saturday. Well, I guess I wouldn't be able to do it Saturday because I got Derby, but maybe do a wrap up
We'll
of the
figure it
tour. Yeah,
More incoming.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
okay. We're out, boys.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone.
Okay, so on that bombshell, guys, we will see you all next time. Let's go Wrexham up against the Wellington Phoenix. Enjoy.
Bye, everybody.